Life is a personal business, but it has ropes and bonds of connectivity called empathy, which connects it to other lives. That's why life helps and maintains other lives while maintaining itself. Those bonds of connectivity called empathy are very strong in some people and very weak in some people, depending on their life experiences, cultures, and beliefs. Because one's level of empathy or emotional balance are being determined by what he or she has heard, seen, or known. But what alters or disorganizes one's emotional balance is impatience, while what triggers impatience is tension, while what triggers tension is fear, while what always triggers fear is threat. That's why whenever the whale of threat rolls into the multitude or crowd, fear erupts, which will trigger tension. That will in turn trigger impatience, which will now weaken or breaks the bonds of connectivity that binds the crowd, making emotional balance legless in their midst. At the stage of tension, life automatically goes back to its form of being a personal business. That's why whenever the crowd is under the influence of tension, their individual lives become personal businesses where each life helps, maintains, and saves only itself. And you will see everybody struggling for a tiny space. And that's of impatience, stampedes occur. See, a leader is not just a leader, but also a servant. Any leader who is seeing himself as a servant easily gives listening ears to his subjects and takes their opinions very serious and values them. But any leader who is seeing himself as a ruler instead of a servant hardly gives listening ears to his subjects and hardly values their opinions and hardly takes them very serious. Recently, in December 2024, cases of stampedes were recorded here in Nigeria. And if you lift your eyes to see the source, you will see that had it been there was no excess hunger in this country, such gathering for food collection wouldn't have taken place. And had it been there was no threats in this country, such excess hunger wouldn't have been in existence here in Nigeria. Imagine, in Nigeria here, farmers can no longer go to their farms freely, and farm products and businesses can no longer move freely on the road due to threats from bandits, armed robbers, and kidnappers. Insecurity everywhere. And had it been there was no corruption, such threats and insecurity wouldn't have been in existence here in Nigeria. And had it been there was no bad leadership, such corruption wouldn't have been in existence here in this country. Nigeria has now become a geographical space where 90% of the leaders rapidly and shamelessly loot public funds without any remorse. Nigeria, my country, and hello.